Hello and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network, and we are taking a look at what's happening within ZANU-PF. Honorable Tino Machakaire issued a warning, and this warning was directed to Daniel Garwe. Remember, Mo 2030 movement, Mnangagwa, there are divisions already rocking that movement. People are jostling and fighting for positions and control, especially for recognition by Emmerson Mnangagwa himself. And this is what Tino had to say.
President, unema 45 wakafota ma 45 une 41 ndine 41 vamwe vacho tikazokutarisisai futi wakatembenga wakati popanduka futi saka usane uda kutinzwa ukada kutinzwa tokurova pamberi pevanhu saka tiri kukumirirai endai munovataurira vari kumhanya vachita zvisina basa kuti takakumirirai. Mashist province inofanirwa kubatana, but kana ukatadza kuti batanidza uchivhundutsira vanhu musangano hausokumba kwako. ZANU-PF zvanzi zvakanzi navaMnangagwa, ukada kutora ZANU-PF kuisa mumwe mako inokubvarurira pocket. Saka sine hazvo kutamba tingatamba hedu.
So this is what Honorable Tino Machakaire said. And one thing we need to understand is ZANU-PF is dividing. Yes, ZANU-PF is 100% dividing. So what is interesting is it's not only ZANU-PF, but the factions themselves. So there is a faction which is led by Vachiwenga. There is a faction which is led by Emmerson Nakuda. That faction, Emmerson Nakuda, is dividing because there are other people within that faction who believe that 2030 tofanana kuenda, but not under the banner of Kudakwashe Tagwirei. That is the grouping Rana Owen Muda. That is the grouping Rana Daniel Garwe. So those people, they don't believe in Kuda Tagwirei. They want 2030 agenda to happen, but they don't want Kuda Tagwirei to be at the center or to lead. So these are people who are jostling and fighting for position. So they are going to provinces to try and gain control. And Daniel Garwe, coming from Marsh East, is trying by all means possible to control Marsh East as much as possible. And then Tino is using his influence as the youth leader to go into provinces and stamp authority there. So he's using the youth to rubber stamp their authority ku faction kwabo. So it's a faction within a faction. So it's very interesting. That is the reason why we are always saying this 2030 thing will not see the light of the day, because it doesn't make sense. Even within ZANU-PF, it doesn't make sense. ZANU-PF people, Pachavo, they are in disagreement with this nonsense. So it's very, very interesting to see that they continue to fight for positions while Zimbabwe continues to burn. Zimbabweans want service delivery, not all this nonsense. So when you see ZANU-PF are dividing, historically or in the past, we have never seen ZANU-PF dividing to the extent which we are going to see this time around. So they could divide, they could do everything, expel others, but this time around, I'm sensing danger within ZANU-PF, because there are people who do not think, who are at the forefront. He put Owen Muda right there, put Daniel Garwe right there. Those people, those fellas, they don't think. They simply do whatever which they want. So when you then put others who are using money, who think that money is more important than anything else, then you understand what you're talking about. Then there is another element where Emmerson is running parallel structures So you go to government, there are ministers who are supposed to be dealing with certain things. For example, when Mnangagwa was in China, the dues for infrastructure, for the railway infrastructure, you were supposed to see Mona right there being involved. But Chivayo was at the center of everything. So instead of using Mona, who is the government official, who is the minister, or anyone from the ministry, they are using Chivayo as the frontman. And then what is of interest is Chivayo gets a deal which runs into billions with China. And then between Zimbabwe and China, there is a deal of around 600 million. So what is hidden within the deal rakatorwa naChivayo? That is where everything then goes in a different direction. That is the reason why you are seeing these parallel structures being put in place. So at a certain point in time, it will come to a point where people say, okay, enough is enough. Because MZANU-PF vashoma vakudya. Kudya kwa limited. Ivo vari kutoba vacho vamwe vari kuba. But kuba kwacho kuri limited. So you would see that the most of them, they prefer to have another leader who is not this one aripo, because we are kutora madhiri achisa mupocket market. In the past, you could see that madhiri aiiswa apa vanhu vodya vese, kana kuti vanodya vodya vopatsanurana voita sei. But this time around, it's about a family affair. It's about them. So right from the Vatican to China, from China to Eswatini, kuchirohwa madhiri. And the majority of ZANU-PF people in government havasi kudya. Paifanaenda kuChivayo, pane government official akanga aripo, pakanga pana Chivayo, which means that government official lost. So at the end of the day, you see that you have divisions everywhere. And this man will never see the 2030 thing. I don't see him seeing that thing. So this is very, very interesting. And what you need to understand is threats are they're not empty threats. They are very serious threats because it's a matter of proximity to power. It's a matter of being very close to Emmerson. So it now depends on who matters the most before Emmerson. So Garwe right now is wanted by, or is needed by Emmerson, because he's a dog who can be sent to back at certain things. But at a certain point in time, it's going to be discarded and he will lose. So in the long run, Vanatino, they will have a greater influence because varipakati pechino chese. Because remember, Kuda is at the center of everything. He's the chief financier within ZANU-PF. So it's very, very interesting. Where we are going, we'll be watching, but it's very, very interesting. So Garwe, we will see how everything is going to unfold, but that is the message for Garwe.